Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on Simply Jewel Atypical Podcast, where we talk about life struggles, encompassing health, wellness, and alternative approaches to medicine naturally. Your host is Simply Jewel. So let's get ready to heal the mind, body, and soul. She's atypical of the average. SimplyJewel.com.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Good evening, good evening, good evening.
Yes, this is a show that many have been waiting for. So I'm excited tonight to bring on Marie, Coach Marie McKenzie, in hopes that we can bring awareness to the community. I'd just like to welcome you, Marie, to Simply Jewel Atypical Podcast, where we are atypical of the average. I'd just like to give a little intro. Marie is a registered nurse, sexual assault nurse examiner, a author of books, a rape kit expert to be exact, an advocate, and many more wonderful things. So I would just like to bring Marie on, talk about our services, how we're both coaches, how we both would like to help the community. And although you may not need this conversation, but we are encouraging you all to share. You may not need it, but someone else may need it. Welcome aboard. Take her away, Miss Marie.
Good evening, Miss Jill. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you, audience, for joining us today. I am Coach Marie McKenzie, rape kit expert, advocate, sexual assault nurse examiner, and registered nurse. I provide confident, compassionate, confidential coaching through the rape kit process in each state of the USA to help victims overcome the thought of being traumatized the second time and to position them as powerful self-advocates instead of becoming emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically shut in. The question is, are you shut in? Are the things that keep you up at night holding you stuck, robbing you of the joy you once had? Are you silently hurting due to unresolved trauma resulting from sexual assault or rape? Internalizing. Are you taking on anxiety? Are you angry, reliving the trauma? Needlessly because there is help. There is hope. If you are shut in, you don't have to be.
Yes, people, please get in touch with Coach Marie. She has a coaching program that can help those who feel shut in. So, Coach Marie, can you tell us about your program, how you can help those who feel or maybe just need to talk?
I offer a comprehensive, customized program for people who are shut in. When someone is sexually assaulted, some victims right away choose help to heal and get justice, while others delay, they feel traumatized, they become overwhelmed, depressed, and remain physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually paralyzed, lose their joy in life. And what my program does, after you've come to me and we have agreed that you need my service, we go through several weeks of coaching. We begin with the What Happened to Me series. This is where we bring clarity to what really occurred. Because sometimes, unless it's rape, victims don't identify what happened to them as sexual assault. They don't identify it as a crime. They don't know because they may not understand that involuntary kiss or hug or whatever it is that traumatized them, is sexual assault. The laws differs in from state to state. So, and sexual assault is like an umbrella term that covers rape and other sins and crimes. So we go through the What Happened to Me series where we talk of types of sexual assaults. We go through date rape drugs, what they are, what they look like, how you can avoid getting in situations where you may be a victim of that drug facilitated rape. We talk about the different predators. Predators are male and male to male, male to female, female to female, female to male, and the children. Next we have the powerful Did You Know series. We went through overview of rapes in the Bible because many people don't know that the Bible talks about rapes. They don't know that they were shut-ins in the Bible. Women like Tamar in 2 Samuel 13, the daughter of David, who was brutally raped and by her half-brother. Predators are not always running around in the streets. They prey where they're trusted, in our homes, in our schools, in our churches. So we go through that. We speak about biblical laws that govern rapes in the Bible. And then we also talk about laws that govern sexual assault and rape in the client's state. We encourage the client to share her story. I share my story. Then we have our powerful Knowledge is Power series, where we empower the client with knowledge of the rape kit process. Because some victims decline the rape kit process because they feel that they're going to be traumatized again. They're fearful, they don't know what to expect. So we go through that step by step in detail. Now, the rape may have occurred years ago, but the client may not have sought treatment or therapy. She may not need the knowledge of the rape kit process for herself, but in empowering her to become a self-advocate, she can advocate for others who may find themselves in similar situation. Then we have a Q&A. We talk about CODIS, the Combined DNA Index System. And this system allows local, federal, and state agency to electronically link the DNA that's obtained through the rape kit process to known offenders that will maybe in the system and get them off the street, prevent them from victimizing others. How empowering that is to know that you as a victim help to put this person where they belong, off the street. The shame and guilt should be the perpetrators, not you, the victim. We talk about the comprehensive rape kit reform that's going on across the country. We look at where the client state is on that platform and how they're doing. We also identify resources, community resources, or specialists that the client may need, and research and offer referrals to them. Then we get to after we've gone through all those processes and complete those training, we get to the powerful self-advocate series. How wonderful it will be when you're no longer shut in. This is congratulations. This is time to celebrate. your great achievement. We're going to discuss steps by step holistic health and overall well being. How do you eat right? How do you maintain a healthy lifestyle? Because when someone is shut in, they don't care for themselves. They don't show up 100% for themselves or for their family, or anybody else. But most importantly, not showing up 100% for yourself, you're denying yourself the joys of life that you really need. So we discuss self-care principles and what's next step. Now that you're free and vibrant, help you step into your life for full potential. Do you want to start a business? Do you want to write a book? Whatever it is, we go through that step by step. As I say, it's customized to each client. It's not a one size fit all. And I'm so very excited and proud of this program and how it will help my clients.
Wow, that's amazing. I really am glad that you came on to talk about this. Not only is there no age limit for those who have been a victim, or the fact that you have your own personal story, and to reiterate that it's not their fault. So the process sounds awesome, and to be able to help them to get into a place of feeling better, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I know that your healing process, you wrote things that keep you up at night. I also noticed that you are an award-winning, was it a silver award-winning author?
Yes.
Is that what you wrote to help with your healing process?
Yes. Well, actually, I always started writing. I entered a 30-day writing challenge, and that was after I'd gone through my healing journey. I became a registered nurse. I interacted with clients on the clinical and community setting in the hospitals, caring for them. And I felt at the time I seemed to be doing well. But as a survivor of sexual assault, I needed to get my healing too. So I had processed my journey. I read scriptures, interacted with leaders and organizations that were helping victims of sexual assault. So through that, I was able to process my journey and get out of being a shut-in, become a powerful self-advocate for myself and others. So through that, I found my calling to help sexual assault victims. So when the opportunity came to write a book, I entered a 30-day writing challenge, which popped on my screen on Facebook one day. And Nalena Kai, one of my most favorite authors, she had that challenge. And the night when I went to the meeting, it was to write a memoir or self-help. So I chose to write my memoir. And I always remember that the night she said, if you're writing something that's painful, do not write it at night. I hung up after I got off the meeting. I wrote the first section of the book, which was the first time I remember being sexually assaulted. So as I said, predators prey where they're trusted. This was a member of my family. I was 11 years old. I can still hear the sounds that were going on. I can still smell what was going on. I can still feel. I can still see everything. I am 61 years old, so that's 50 years ago, and the memory so vivid. You get over the hurt and the shame, but you don't forget.
Right, right.
Yes. So I penned my memoir, Things That Keep Me Up at Night, because those were the things that when I go to sleep, that was not the only instance. So that's why it says things that keep me up at night. Those are the things that I remember when I can't sleep. And I worked as a night shift ER nurse. So when my night was mostly during the daytime, and it was keeping me awake during the daytime when I'm trying to sleep, and during the nights when I'm off, coupled with other things. But I remember having suicidal ideation, because that's another thing. The trauma is so devastating when it's unresolved that you just want to get rid of that pain and shame. So victims will adopt maladaptive behaviors. There'll be alcoholism, drug abuse, promiscuity, suicide ideation, suicides, post-traumatic stress disorders, becoming predators themselves. Sometimes you see people doing certain things, going through, and you're wondering, oh, what's wrong with that one? Or, you're shaming and not offering help, not holding space with them. But you don't know their story. You don't know their story. So thank God for my healing. And I'm here helping others. And I'm so very proud of my book, because it was like out there now. The story was out there. So it was no more shame, no more blaming myself. There were a lot of family members. Well, my family was hearing about it for the first time. Shortly before the book was written, I had done a podcast based on my role as a sexual assault nurse examiner, and I shared my story. And then I sent the recording to members of my family, and they were learning of it for the first time. So that was kind of shocking for family and friends. And the book has helped a lot of family, friends and acquaintances and strangers to share their story, because some of what I've been told is that if you can share yours, I share mine. But the thing is, not everyone wants to go public. They share it privately with me, but they don't want to go all national like I did. But I don't feel ashamed, and I'm very proud that my story is helping others. So you asked me about the award. The Florida Authors and Publishers Association honored my book with a silver medal award in the education category, I must add. That was a joyous moment. Yes.
And I read that. So you're Jamaican born, and then you're a member of the NK tribe success. Can you share about the NK tribe and a member of?
Yeah, NK Tribe is Nalena Kai. She is the author who encouraged me to write this memoir. The tribe is a little collection of authors who we help promote and support each other. We read each other's book. My book and many of members of the group became #1 bestsellers because we promote each other. Like the day when my book was released, everybody was on their Facebook page, in their newsletter, in their Instagram, in their Twitter. So we share each other's work to our readers. So it's a very close-knit community of amazing people led by Nalena Kai. And her son, JL, is our amazing graphic designer. He does all our book covers. And they're like really rock.
Very nice. Well, I keep saying there's so many books and so many people that I have met along the way. However, we are going to be doing some things together,
Yes.
and so. Everyone, we are asking you to leave a comment on the Facebook post, questions if you want us to go live. If you have questions yourself, we can clarify a few things. We can also talk about how we're going to come together with Coach Marie's program. Of course, I work with those who fail to thrive naturally using my modalities. So we're going to try and do some things together so that we can bring awareness. Let us know if you'd want us to go private or if you'd like to start out on the social platforms. So, Coach Marie, tell them where you're located on Facebook and Instagram and also your website.
Okay, on Facebook as Marie McKenzie, and I have another site called Are You Shut In? Shut in, as I mentioned, silently hurting due to unresolved trauma related to sexual assault or rape, internalizing needlessly. My website is marielmckenzie.com. And my email address is marielmckenzie@gmail.com. You may also find me on Twitter as Marie McKenzie. I'm also on YouTube and TikTok. So I'm everywhere.
Very nice. So I'll put the email address. If anybody would like to get in touch with Coach Marie, I'll also add the website so that you can go to the website and look at her website, and all of her contact or other social platforms would be on there as well. But the best thing to do is I think, for the community to start getting in touch with people who are willing to provide their service, willing to talk to you or make an appointment with you. So we're in a time where it's going to be, I think, it's going to be where we're going to have to communicate with people virtually, but we can also take it to a different platform. And it's whatever the client prefers. So she and I both respect HIPAA, so confidentiality is
Absolutely
important to us. Yes, and so we're willing to allow anybody to get in touch with us, and I will, like I said, put our contact information in the description box. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us? Any helpful hints? Anything that will at least let the clients know that they will be in a safe space and it is okay to get in touch with us?
Yes, it's a safe place. It's confidential. And you are not alone. No matter what your story is, you are not alone. There is someone with similar stories. The statistics for sexual assault across the United States is staggering. Every 68 seconds, someone in the United States is sexually assaulted. If the woman is in the military or in college, the statistics are higher. 1 in every 6 women reports being sexually assaulted in her lifetime. 1 in every 10 children reports being sexually assaulted. Of the 68 seconds that someone is assaulted, every 9 minutes, that victim is a child. Every 9 minutes, that victim is a child. Can you imagine a child that's not given the support or kept keeps quiet like I kept quiet like I did, because I kept it in all through my childhood. I never shared it with my family. I wasn't threatened, but I just didn't tell anyone. So can you imagine there are children or adults who are threatened and their families are threatened, so they keep silent? There are victims who are blamed, even when the victim is a child. They're blamed by adults. So can you imagine that trauma, that unresolved trauma that they carry into adulthood, and how that can cause them to be shut in? You don't have to be. There's hope. There's help. Connect with me. Connect with us.
Yes. Wow. So, whatever happened to your assault? What would you call the person, even though you didn't say anything? How were they navigating through and knowing what they've done?
Well, I wasn't his first victim, and I wasn't the last. He was never held accountable, although the family knew, the community knew. There was no secret. There was no secret. He assaulted multiple children in my family. Yes, multiple children in my family. The adults knew. And he went through the community also, so it was well known. Yes.
Wow. And that's just crazy. That does happen, and I know people are fully aware. That is what's really sad. But I think this would have to be a conversation. Maybe we can have a conversation on topics and get the audience to engage, because there's a lot of people running around that no one's saying anything, no one's doing anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Say nothing. If you know that a child is being victimized, when an adult crosses the line sexually with a child and cause them that kind of a trauma, and you as an adult is aware and are in a position to intervene and do nothing, I believe you're complicit.
Right.
Yes, you're complicit.
I believe that as well. I just have a problem with people not saying anything. Even in 2023, back in the 80s, I even would say, tell somebody, do you know what a good touch is? Do you know what a bad touch is? Make sure you say something. But now it's just, to me, I don't understand why we're still hush about something that's so devastating.
Right.
But we'll have to carry this on even further. And so in closing, I just want to say, if anybody is interested and needs to get in touch with Marie, please go to her website or email her at marielmckenzie@gmail.com. And we would like to say thank you, and also to let you know that we will have more topics on this. So tune in, and also go to simplyjewel.com so that you know which platform we'll be on, and follow on Instagram. All my social platforms are on simplyjewel.com. Make sure you like, comment, follow, subscribe, and at least to know where we're going to be. Anything else? Back to you, Marie.
Thank you, Jules. I'm just encouraging parents to keep an open line of communication with your children. Teach them the correct terms for their genitalia. Call it the correct term. Teach them what's appropriate touch from adults, what's not appropriate, so they can share it with you if anyone crosses the line. Don't tell them to shut up. I was told to shut up a lot of times when I was growing up. Well, I did shut up, but not at the right time. So just keep an open line of communication and encourage your children to speak up. Teach them about what's out there, what's to be aware of, and to tell an adult, a trusting adult, if anybody crosses the line with them.
Yes, I agree. I'm just so baffled about, I think the part that I'm stuck on is that people are still saying to shut up, or they're still in the know and they're not saying anything.
Right.
That's the part that I think is devastating and alarming. But I'm so glad that we have someone that can help and assist, that has a program. And how many people do you serve? Is it a one-on-one?
Yes, for now, yes, because you want to maintain each person's privacy until they want to share. So, yes, one-on-one.
Okay, great. Okay, everybody. Well, I think that concludes our episode for tonight. But reminding everyone to please leave a comment. You can also go to, if you're on Spotify, you can leave a comment on Spotify, leave a comment on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you saw the flyer that talked about Coach Marie coming on tonight, so that we can at least get some information, collect the data, and decide how we're going to serve you. Thanks, Marie.
Thank you so much. And Jules, now that I've started talking, I will not shut up.
Well, that's perfectly okay, because at the end of the day, you are listening to Simply Jewel Atypical Podcast, where we are atypical of the average. So feel free to come on anytime, where we can use this platform and the many other platforms that we have, so that we can bring awareness to just helping people to heal, helping people to not be shut in, to get free of emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical trauma. That's the goal, people. So thank you for tuning in. Peace and blessings to everyone.
Good night. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you for listening, everyone.